Hi everyone, my name is Sophia and I'm an MSF alumni and I graduated in 2021. I currently study at Yale University and I'm doing my undergrad degree there. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experiences at MSF, how to get into schools like Yale, and a little bit about what I miss from MSF. The first thing that I would like to talk about is maybe the factors that go into an application to a US college. Applying to schools like Yale is very competitive. I know I've been through the process, but I think there are a couple of things that you can keep in mind when you are applying to these schools that are gonna help. I think one of the first things that is like a basis requirement for a lot of these schools is grades and test scores. Those are very academic and they don't say a lot about a person, but if you have aspirations to study in the United States, making sure that your GPA is on track and that you study early for things like ACT or SAT is going to really give you a lot of help applying to these schools, because you'll have a good indicator of what schools could be a great fit for you. So thinking about test prep and things like that early is a great thing to do, especially for these standardized tests, which you can practice for and prep for, and can retake a couple of times if you want to increase your score, for example. But I think applications and admissions to US colleges are a lot more than just test scores. What I like about the US admissions process is that it's very holistic, so it looks at you as the applicant, as a person with extracurricular interests and academic interests, and not just test scores, which is great because I think other countries are a little bit more focused on those things. And so a big thing for a US application, a successful US university application, is focusing on your extracurriculars, what you're passionate about, whether that be a sport or whether you like writing or drawing, and really making sure that you refine these extracurriculars and that you put a lot of effort into them and showcase that you're passionate about these topics. It doesn't have to be something academic or something that you necessarily want to do for your major, but if you're a writer and you love writing, send off some pieces to writing competitions, or work at your school newspaper, or things like that. Just things that really bring up, make your application stand out. And within this extracurricular activity realm, it's always good to show leadership or to show a sense of engagement, whether that means starting something or like a club of your own and like furthering a passion, or whether that means working to take over leadership and organization roles in clubs that just show more of your commitment and more of your passion, and also showcase to the universities that you're really taking action and that you can be, a successful applicant in terms of academics, but also outside, taking lots of leadership positions. I think another really important thing about US applications is then also the essays that you have to write. This is very different from university applications to UK or European schools, because you really want to make a statement about who you are and what things are important to you. So for example, for schools like Yale, they require lots of different short answer and longer answer questions that make you think about what you value, what things are important to you, what challenges you faced and how you've overcome them, and writing those in really good, strong essays that showcase who you are as a person and help you find a little bit more what you want the school to know about you. And I think the US application process offers you a lot of freedom for that. So I would say look at the different prompts that there are, look at the different universities, do your research, be specific about the schools that you're applying to, and ask why you want to go to this university, and then also showcase different facets of yourself that you maybe haven't in your other applications. If you're a very strong science person but you also have an art interest, write about maybe your art interest, to show that you have different interests and that you're more than just a very categorical. It's always good to show all the different nuances of yourself that you want to showcase in an application portfolio to a US school. And obviously this is a very generic answer, and applications to these schools are extremely competitive, but if you are yourself and you really showcase your passions and the things that you like and that you want the admissions committee to know about you, I think that really shimmers through and makes your application as strong as it can be. So I just completed my first year of studying at Yale, and it's been absolutely wonderful. It's been a lot of hard work, but also very rewarding and with lots of great people. And I thought I'd share a little bit with you why I chose Yale and maybe what the experience has been like for me. I think I chose Yale because the campus culture and the community is extremely open and very creative. I've always loved writing, but I've also had an interest in like politics and global affairs, which I hope to study maybe in the future. And I think at Yale you can combine these interests and you can take all the different passions that you have and like put them together in a major and take classes that are maybe completely out of your major line, but that you can still do and can still explore. Additionally, Yale has an incredibly beautiful campus with great resources and libraries, and when I toured it and I walked around, I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. And so I'm very excited to be living there now, just because the buildings are so like impressive and very, very wonderful. And I think one of the most outstanding things about Yale, and you will probably hear this in a lot of information sessions about the university too, is that it's built by a housing system. So there are 14 colleges of Yale that are like microcosms of the big university campus. You live in those houses, you stay in them for all 4 years, and you get to know like a smaller community of people a lot better. And I've really enjoyed this because I've got to meet people within my college that I've gotten very close with, and it's like a kind of a smaller, more manageable Yale within this house than it would be to like have everyone in my grade living all together. And so it's been very nice because it makes the big university quite manageable. As for classes, Yale has very open curriculum. There's a couple of distributional requirements that you have to take. So like 2 science credits and 2 math credits, but overall you have a lot of freedom in terms of your major choices and in terms of your like class choices. Just because, as I've said before, you're maybe like an English major doesn't mean you can take science courses and vice versa. So the university really encourages you to explore different types of learning, and I think that's great, and that's part of the liberal arts education that the school offers and, you know, really markets to to its applicants, which I think it does extremely well. I think I really loved the community of the school. Everyone was so welcoming and so open-minded, and I miss just being able to live in this very close-knit community, this wonderful campus that MSF is. I miss walking in and, you know, knowing all my teachers and knowing everyone that I've been in my class with for a really long time. And I think it is really this community feeling that is so important to MSF that I really miss. I also think that even though I don't miss the IB stress, I do think we were extremely well prepared for the whole process of the IB. We were really guided through everything, and that really made a huge difference, and I feel extremely well prepared for college now, thanks to the education that MSF provided me with. So just that support was amazing, and yeah, that was really great. And yeah, I miss, you know, some of the extracurriculars that I did when I was here, the people, my friends, and just Frankfurt as a city. I think MSF does a good job of, you know, bringing together people from all around Frankfurt, and all around the different parts of the city, and I thought that was great, and I miss kind of that aspect of the MSF community as well. And I think just some of the celebrations that we had at MSF that I miss. Our graduation was really beautiful, and now coming back to see everyone and say hi to teachers in the hallways that I had is just an amazing experience. And yeah, I know that I think I was at MSF for like 11 years or so, 13 years probably, and those 13 years were incredible for me, and they were a huge part of my life. So I'm gonna miss those years because they were incredibly fun and engaging and helped me, you know, find my passions, what I wanted to do, and made me extremely curious and a great learner. So I think I will miss those memories and those friendships that I made at MSF.